In short time, your fate will be sealed, Superman.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the fifth ride. The fifth ride. Are you excited?
Then there's no time to wait.
I'm excited. Whoa. I didn't know you could do that. Huh. Why would you want to do this? I'm speechless. So, if we want, we can make the screen incredibly tiny. Wonderful. Everyone, if you'd like the game played incredibly tiny, let me know. I'm not going to do it, but you can still voice your opinion. So we're back. We're back for more rings. And I hope to God... Wait, where's the next one? Screw it. It's only 2 minutes. There can't be that many rings to miss. So, after Park Place, I would hope that this is easier. Unfortunately, as I was looking at the Park Place strategy guide, I spoiled my... Hey, that one was angled up. Game, that feels cheap. You made me think the next one was going up. Anyway, as I looked at the Park Place strategy guide, I saw the strategy guide for this one, or this level on the next page, and it told me that the first minigame we have to play is fucking tornadoes. So we're gonna fuck some tornadoes, and it's gonna be wonderful. Utterly and completely wonderful. Hopefully they're not too difficult, but I don't really know about the sexuality of tornadoes, so we'll find out. Well, I guess this is more difficult than usual. It certainly is more difficult than the near figure eights we were dealing with, or the... I don't even know how to describe what in the hell we were seeing at the end of the last ride. It was stupid. And right as I said that, it ceases to be difficult, and they just put a bunch of them basically in a line. Oh well. That's good. A lack of difficulty means hopefully we will get through this quicker. Okay. Okay, it's giving us automatic tornado, or breath, so that's good. Let's breathe. Breathe. Breathing is very important for yoga, and it's very important for Superman. I think that one's dead. And... oh no, Superman! Where'd it go? Please don't kill that person, please don't kill that person, please don't kill that person. It's gonna kill the person. Okay, I think we've got it, I think we've got it, I think we've got it. No, Lex wins. Okay, that was only 2 minutes.
And there's no time to waste.
The tornadoes are the worst part of the game. Other than the levels, and the glitches, and everything else. Other than all that stuff, tornadoes are the worst part of the game. Well, we gotta repeat this, so... So you might be about to see some video flashing on the screen, because I don't know if anyone actually enjoyed that part, but thinking about blood-sucking pharaohs in Pittsburgh made me think about what's probably my all-time favorite bad movie, and that is a little movie called Parole Violators. Parole Violators is a movie starring, and I believe directed by, a man named Sean Donahue. At the very least, it's a Sean Donahue vanity project. Who's Sean Donahue? Well, he was a stuntman in a bunch of low-budget action movies who started starring in his own low-budget action movies. There's one problem. Sean Donahue looks like a total dweeb. And I don't mean the kind of stereotype of like a dweeb or a nerd or, you know, a geek with, you know, glasses, or who's into anime or likes Harry Potter or Doctor Who or whatever. I mean that kind of unlikable dweeb. He just dresses like an idiot. He's just unlikable. Sean Donahue made these movies in the early 90s, so just think of the lamest early 90s kind of person in the world. A guy you just look at and you'd be like, what a Melvin. I guess Melvin would be a better word for it, but well, now we gotta fight these tornadoes again, so cool. Okay, let's take it out. So, Sean Donahue made a series of really bad movies. The best or worst would be a movie called Parole Violators, which Sean Donahue stars as the video cop. What the fuck? The video cop is a vigilante who goes around taking video of people violating their parole. And he puts it on a TV show called Parole Violators, in which he appears unmasked, though the video cop is a masked vigilante. And it's supposed to be a secret, even though it's kind of obvious, since Sean Donahue, is the host of the show. His character is named Miles. I wanted to say Miles per hour, but no, that's Tails. Miles Long, I think, which leads to a cock joke. Apparently his dick is long. But the video vigilante is really not too important. By the end of the movie, you've probably forgotten that, because what the movie is actually about is proving that if a guy is enough of a Melvin, you might end up liking neo-Nazis and child molesters more. Because Sean Donahue is so annoying, and this movie's attempt at making a strong female character backfires so badly that you end up rooting for the neo-Nazis and the child molesters to kill poor Sean Donahue / Miles Long. Because they have his love interest / sidekick, who is a female cop whose daughter is kidnapped. And I'm sure the director thought she was going to be a strong character. In fact, she is portrayed as the weakest, most ineffectual female possibly in film history. She's constantly kidnapped, she's unable to act intimidating when she's scripted to act intimidating. She, is basically killed at one point in the movie. She's only able to defeat enemies by luck. And hey, we won. Great. And it's just it's awful. She's the stereotype of every weak, ineffectual female character presented as a strong character. It's terrible. It's something else. The whole movie is very much like this, where they've created this protagonist, Miles Long. He fights neo-Nazis and pedophiles. It's the easiest win. Like, it's impossible for your audience not to connect with this guy, because we all hate pedophiles and neo-Nazis, especially in the early 90s. It's the tail end of the 80s child sex ring craze, where every part of the country was reporting these child sex rings and satanic ritual abuse. And here we have good old Miles Long, who's unable to take advantage of it, because he's constantly getting beaten up, and he sounds really annoying. His voice is just irritating. He's a screw up. He's an annoying screw up. And it doesn't help that many of the key scenes for character development are filmed in ways where you can't even really hear him. There's a key conversation between our protagonists, and it's filmed in a police station garage where someone is working on a car at the same time. So all you hear is grinding as these two characters talk. I believe this is where one of the best lines in the movie is uttered, where the video cop is mentioned, and Miles is like, "But the video cop could be any of us," or something like that, and just this incredibly obvious tone that cracks me up every time I think about it. But anyway, the main reason he's unlikable, beyond his voice and the fact that we're never able to connect with him, is he's constantly, oh crap, I'm down to no grace ranks. He's constantly beaten up. He's thrown off 2 cliffs in this movie and 1 building. Imagine that. Surviving being thrown off 2 cliffs, and one of these cliffs is not a short fall. One of them is more of a hill, but one is a literal cliff. He's basically thrown off of a mountain. It's something else. And I'm hoping that you have just seen this or are about to see it, because it's one of my favorite scenes in film history. You've got the hero of the movie just beaten up, broken, with... You just look at him and like, how did he survive? You don't believe that he's a Superman and was able to survive it. You just think that all of his bones should be broken, and the movie just feels even dumber and more unrealistic. Not that this movie could really be more unrealistic, but, you know, whatever. So, he's constantly beaten up. He's getting punched, kicked, tied up. He, you know, fails at many of his tasks. He leaves a man to die. He's just terrible. He's a terrible human being, a terrible hero. He doesn't seem heroic. He doesn't seem like anything more than kind of a scumbag. And, well, he can't cook. He has like no good traits. I can't really think of any of his any good traits surrounding Miles other than he hates pedophiles. Oh, fucking wonderful. 2 more tornadoes. Is everyone excited to blow away more tornadoes? I hope you are. Well, we're blowing tornadoes. Blowing tornadoes, and hopefully they don't beat us up like Miles would be beaten up. But there's also the dialogue. I've kind of hinted at the dialogue with the video cop line, but there are just fantastic lines in this movie. Fantastic lines, such as when his love interest slash tough female character who's presented as weak and useless and makes you so sad for gender, or the thoughts of gender equality this movie had, that this is their attempt at a strong female character. Anyway, she's kidnapped and she wants to escape. She wants to escape the neo-Nazis, and so she talks to one of them and tries to seduce them in the most hilarious way possible. Imagine a woman in an ill-fitting, bloody pink sweatsuit with the female mullet. I guess not a mullet, but like just horrible like late 80s, early 90s hair. Trying to seduce a neo-Nazi, asking him his name, and he says Goon. He's like, oh, like the Goonie Bird. Or she says, oh, like the Goonie Bird. And Goon is like, gets very angry. He's like, never compare me to a bird. Birds are weak. And so she then spends the next 30 seconds trying to inform Goon that no, birds can actually be strong, which just makes Goon even angrier. But he eventually relents and allows her to go piss, as long as she agrees to shake a bush while she pisses so that he knows she hasn't run away. So she devises an ingenious scheme to tie her shirt to the bush so that she can shake it from about a foot away. And when she stops shaking it to run away, Goon takes about a minute to stop and start shooting, which of course fails, and then he gets a rock dropped on his head. Because, unfortunately, Goon, the best character in the movie, must be killed. But there we go. I mean, I guess that's the tale of the movie. The best character in the movie is a neo-Nazi named Goon, and maybe an internal affairs cop who I assume the movie wants us to hate, because he's an internal affairs cop, and the internal affairs cops in most media are people who are trying to stop the effective cops from doing their job. The rules are holding the cops down, and we're supposed to hate the rules. We're supposed to like these lone wolves, these loose cannons who, you know, they get results, you stupid chief. But he just seems like a reasonable guy trying to investigate two people who are acting utterly psychotic. And he eventually is hit by a shotgun during an escape attempt from the neo-Nazis. And so, at this point, Miles and I wish I remembered her name. I don't remember the love interest's name.
Isn't this precious? A little kiss
But
before death.
they decide they need to go after the neo-Nazis because if I don't think I've mentioned it, but at one point in the movie they kidnap her daughter. They get the daughter back in an incredible scene where the pedophile who has teamed up, or who later teams up with the neo-Nazis, has put her on a raft in a pool. And he brings Miles to the pool and basically orders him to get beaten up. And if he fights back, he will have one of the pedophiles start, or he's going to personally start jabbing at the raft. 3 tornadoes! Fuck you, game! Oh no, 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 please don't do that, Superman. I'm gonna fail. He starts jabbing at the raft with a sharp object. I think it's like a pool cleaning device, but I don't know. I've known people with pools, and I've never seen them use like a javelin as a pool cleaning device, but it's what this pedophile has to, you know, work with at the pool, so who are we to blame him? And we're gonna fail right now. Superman, could you please stop? So, oh wow, we actually won, and we have 6 minutes of rings to go through. I hope this tale of Parole Violators isn't boring everyone, but anyway. So Miles just starts fighting back, and the pedophile, the pedophile is Hispanic, because, you know, I'm sure part of their plan is to make them like gang-banging Hispanic pedophiles so that we just despise them, because what could be worse than minorities who, you know, were in jail and are apparently also pedophiles. But again, Miles is so unlikable that by the end of the movie we're like, are they really that bad? So he's just there like jabbing at this raft in a pool with his javelin, and he eventually escapes, and Miles has to dive into the pool to save the girl who is now drowning because she was on this raft, duct tape up. And he, you know, applies CPR or whatever, mouth to mouth. And she then goes to the hospital where she's in a coma or whatever. And before she's taken to the hospital, the mother starts yelling, "Damn you, breathe! Damn you, breathe!" Which leads to her breaking down in the hospital because she cussed her daughter, and she can't live with herself because she cussed her. So this is when they go on the revenge spree against the pedophiles who have teamed up with neo-Nazis. There's no real urgency, is what I'm trying to say. The daughter was rescued, she is at the hospital, although, you know, there is the risk she will die, but there's no urgency. They don't have to save the daughter right now. There's no ticking clock. There's no time bomb. There's no threat. They just have to kill all the pedophiles at some point. So the internal affairs cop, getting back to this, is hit with a shotgun shell, and he's bleeding out. He's gonna die. Oh shit! I missed a bunch of rings. Whoops. Guess we better go slower. So he needs to go to the hospital. He tells Miles this much. And Miles is like, we don't have time to get him to the hospital. So they bring him with them to the pedophile neo-Nazi compound. And okay, that one looks like it's pointing down, but clearly it's not. It's pointing over here. Is the next one in here? Oh, fuck me.
What the hell are you doing?
We can't
Where's
take
the
it with
next
us.
ring?
It's the best we can do.
Superman, go up. So they just bring him there, and then they leave him with his notepad that he's been using to take notes on their illegal rule-breaking activities. He leaves him with it, and he basically says he'll be happy this way, and basically leaves him to die. Luckily for the internal affairs cop, he shows up at the end as a distraction, which allows the two heroes to shoot the villains some more, and everyone is happy. He rips up his notes. The daughter is saved. But I'm gonna have to put some video spliced into this run, because you have to see this movie to really understand. And I'm going to take a little commentary break right here for a few seconds. Because hopefully what you're hearing is part of the soundtrack to Parole Violators. Just imagine this looping a couple of times, and then a song incredibly similar to this starts playing and looping for, you know, I don't know, a scene or two. And then another song, then the first one starts up again, and that's the soundtrack to the movie. Apparently we were just near the end of this ride, or of this ring section, but no. We've got to loop around some more, so we'll get back there. The dialogue and the music really make this movie, because you just hear this monotonous soundtrack, and it's just so hilarious and poorly made. It sounds like terrible video game music to me. It just really sells the movie. And it's just this overall experience. Like, you're seeing all this bad action, just nameless goons, some of them named Goon. He's one of the few that's, you know, not nameless, I guess. Just getting killed or thrown off things, and there's Wilhelm screams, and Miles Long is just thrown off of things. And there's a character named Miles Long who points at his cock when he mentions his full name. I mean, come on, this movie, it's a classic. And it's just made so earnestly. Like, they're trying to make this movie about how cops should be able to go out and kill pedophiles and neo-Nazis or whatever. And there's... Oh, fuck me, really? It's like this movie, it has a horrible, horrible message, but it's so earnest. Oh god, really? Oh, we're gonna fucking fail, aren't we? We're gonna fail. Because we didn't kill that last Dark Shadow, because I guess he hit us. I guess he hit us with his rocket right as I went in there, and that deflected us. Where is he? Okay, we might be able to do this. Yes, we did it. We did it. We took as much damage as Miles Long would. As much damage as Miles Long would, but we did it. Wonderful. Feeling good. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this talk with Parole Violators, because I really love that movie. I love it almost as much as, you know, it's either Parole Violators or Raise the Titanic. Raise the Titanic is the other, like, bad movie that's so close to my heart. And I couldn't even explain why. I've tried to explain why before, and the main thing is absolutely nothing happens in this movie. It is, I think, based on a Clive Cussler novel, one of those terrible authors. It's a Dirk Pitt novel. Dirk Pitt is the protagonist in a series of these novels. And this one is about raising the Titanic. Wait, what's that over there? Oh, more rings. Just curious. It looks like some weird thing in the sky, but yeah, it's a floating ring, which is a pretty weird thing in the sky. And yeah, I mean, the title is Raise the Titanic, but for the first half hour to 45 minutes, it's not really about raising the Titanic at all. It's about a mineral called Byzantium, which could power an anti-missile defense laser shield, or a missile defense laser shield that that the Soviets, you know, could never penetrate, and could, you know, protect the United States completely. So the U.S. wants this mineral, the Soviets want this mineral, but the mineral isn't where it was supposed to be. It was taken from claimed Soviet territory. This movie was made in the 70s, which will become obvious in a moment. Or I guess it's obvious because, you know, the Soviets. But it was taken from disputed Soviet territory to England, where the American agents tried to get it on a ship, the Titanic. And so Dirk Pitt and his scientist buddy, well, I guess frenemy based on the current lexicon, they have to raise the Titanic to rescue this mineral. And I say raise the Titanic because the producers, and I mean, it was at least the more accepted theory at the time, even though there was a mountain of evidence from eyewitnesses and such that the Titanic had in fact broken in half, which we discovered it was. At the time, you know, a lot of people believed that it went down intact. And so the idea behind the book is that they will raise it. They will raise it to get at the Byzantium. And the centerpiece of this movie is a 3/4 scale model of the Titanic that they built to raise and then sail into New York Harbor. Spoiler, they raised the Titanic. I won't spoil the absolute end of the movie because it needs to be seen to be believed. But just realize that there are Russian spies and all sorts of insanity. But in the end, nothing happens. It's the most boring movie. You would think a movie called Raise the Titanic that involves Russian spies and Byzantium and all this other nonsense, there we go, would, you know, be somewhat exciting. Things would happen in it, but nothing happens. The movie is just aggressively boring and aggressively stupid and aggressively poorly made, and so I love it. Plus the main character's name is Dirk Pitt, and he's like a ladies' man, despite the fact that his name is Dirk Pitt, and who could take Dirk Pitt seriously? So, we're done with the level. I hope you enjoyed me talking about movies I actually like that are horrible. Superman wins, so let's save. I probably won't talk about movies like that much after this, especially during the action stages, unless it's taken me 1,000,000 years to get through it, several attempts, and it feels like I just have nothing else to add, but I didn't have anything else to add to that ride stage, so I just wanted to talk about Parole Violators and hopefully show off a little footage, because I've watched that movie at least 7 or 8 times in my life, maybe as many as a dozen. It's amazing. It's great. I highly recommend it. Oh. So the Parasite is in this level? I wonder if he'll actually be in this level. Well, we'll see. See you guys next time.